We're following the facts tonight on Donald Trump's immigration crackdown. Records now show agents arrested a new record number of immigrants in June, over 40,000. It's actually the highest rate in this term, as the mass deportation agenda has been ramped up with support from Republicans in Congress. ICE agents shot and killed 2 men during vehicle stops in Texas and Maine, all in the same week. Both looked, according to outside witnesses, as entirely avoidable events, where basically it was the U.S. government bringing the crime or the problem. And there have been mass protests. The agency initially trying to pause traffic stops, a sign that something wasn't working right. But Trump then overruled his own appointed officials, saying that they wouldn't even do that pause. Now there are journalistic accounts that the FBI is doing something that really sounds upside down. That it will not investigate ICE confrontations, meaning if they perhaps mistakenly or wantonly kill people or Americans. FBI is not even going to look into that. Remember, it's the FBI that's supposed to protect all of us, be the crime-fighting agency, no matter where the crime may come from, stoking new calls for accountability.
American citizens have been beaten, bloodied, and killed simply for exercising their First Amendment and their Second Amendment rights in a way disfavored by the masked paramilitary forces of ICE. ICE and DHS traffic in lawless violence, propaganda, and disinformation to mask all the corruption and cruelty which are the daily bread of the system. At what point do we say enough is enough? This is not America.
We're joined now by Geraldo Rivera.
Hey,
many viewers know him, a veteran journalist, many shows and accolades, too many to mention. Also relevant here, a longtime Fox News host, and you've had dealings, of course, with Donald Trump over the years. Welcome back.
Thank you. Now with News Nation.
And now with News Nation, of course. Like I said, so much to mention. And the Geraldo Show.
Bar mitzvah.
When you look at the second term immigration crackdown, many see something having gone off the rails.
It is very disheartening to me. It's very, very sad. The demonization of people who really, the vast majority of them, just want the American dream. I mean, it sounds so rhetorical, but it's still true. Juan and Maria just want to come here to get by. They want to send a couple of dollars back home to Mexico. They want to raise their children in a place where they don't fear violence from the cartels. It's just a no-brainer. And yet there is this feeling toward them as if they were, every one of them, carrying the plague. Or, now you see at the airport, someone acted out and the clerk said, "I'm going to turn you into ICE." It's just this. And ICE, what's with ICE? Never have you seen a situation where the FBI doesn't wear masks, the sheriffs don't, the cops don't. Why is it unique to this force that they have to hide their identities? What is it? It's because the task, the sorrowful, horrible task that they have been given is so antithetical to most people's sense of decency.
Yeah, and what you're
disparate.
Right, what you're referring to is this menacing presence from many of the ICE officials under Trump, and then sort of stoking violence. Now, if you find violent offenders, both parties in Congress have said, yeah, deal with it. But here you have unarmed individuals, and then under Trump policy, they say, oh, well, maybe their car was a weapon. Maybe something else was a weapon. I mean, these are unarmed people. I want to show you the facts on this Guardian report. ICE, under Trump, keeps accusing immigrants of, quote, weaponizing vehicles. They reviewed cases that DHS promoted as evidence of a surge in vehicular attacks. So DHS says, here's the cases. The Guardian finds most of these claims fell apart under scrutiny. The accusations consistently disproven by evidence or rejected by independent courts. Out of the 26 that DHS offered, one has led to an assault conviction.
I mean, you're in a car. These masked desperados, without body cams, by the way, come rushing up to you, yelling at you. And you're in a car. What's your instinct? Is your instinct to go with the masked man? No, your instinct is to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, to flee.
And that's what and as soon as you hit the gas, that's when they consider that car is weaponized. It is absolutely, it's reckless. It's hideous conduct. And, everyone knows what's going on. It's just that it is tolerated because this population is so unpopular with half the American people. But very briefly, Trump has done a good job on the border. Biden did a terrible job on the border. But now, having done that good job on the border, why not show compassion? Why not the Dreamers? Remember the Dreamers? Youngsters brought here as children by their parents. Obama wanted to give them a pathway to citizenship. And there was broad, bipartisan support for it. It's disappeared in this now militarized attitude, this demonization of this, the monsterization of this population. It's really it's disgusting.
Yeah, I hear you, and I hear your clarity on it. And as I reminded people, it's not like you're coming out from some liberal corner here. You've talked to Trump, you've been at Fox, but you're talking about how far they've gone. And then there's the contrast between how many of these people with the surging numbers, they've had to round up people who've been here many years, who have jobs, who then are otherwise engaged in our economy, and whose only infraction is being undocumented. It's a far cry from the actual criminal activity I mentioned, gang activity. There are headlines about El Mayo. This is a longstanding case, who had worked directly with El Chapo, who's infamous. They used hitmen. They had political corruption, illegal drugs coming into the U.S. The Times writing about this case, which sort of goes on under the normal DOJ, where there's nonpartisan prosecutors still bringing these kind of cases, separate from all of these ICE shenanigans. And so I did want to turn to that and reflect, as we often do, because I like to learn from people and bring people around who have experience. You're one of them. You've been covering the drug war for a long time. Let's take a look.
But on this trip, the Mexican army clearly challenged the idea that drugs and corruption will last forever. We asked the Mexican government to show us their eradication efforts firsthand. Dave's load was discovered by a dog. The traffickers tried to outwit the dogs, so they camouflaged their dope by wrapping it 1,000 different ways.
I hear that you are still famous, Renee, or infamous maybe is a better word, for your bag of grenades.
This man has enormous resources. He will escape again if he's not extradited to the United States.
Decades of this drug war, what have we learned? And are we fighting the same battles if the United States doesn't get a hold of the use and addiction problems inside this country?
We are absolutely. I have no patience, and I have no, I give no compassion to these drug bandits. They are bad people exploiting not only the customers, the non-Latino Americans, but also, themselves. It is a bad scene. They deserve the law enforcement to crush them. But it won't. As long as there's a market for the dope, they're going to be coming. And it's going to be like the hamster on the wheel. They keep working it. They keep working it. There'll always be dope. As long as they're going to pay $100 a gram for cocaine, someone's going to go there and do that. Whether it's Chapo or Mayo or...
Yeah, we're in this loop. I have 1 minute left, but when you were out there in the field and going to these different countries, what did you see? That people don't have better options, or that the gangs now, especially in Mexico, they have so much power?
Yeah, all that stuff is true about options and fairness and no other place to turn. But I go back to what has happened as a result of the drug trade. Juan and Maria, the innocent, hardworking American dream seekers are the ones who are being victimized. Why? Because the cartels exploit them. They use them. They hide behind them. And it makes this very, very, very a difficult situation. But we have to keep fighting it despite the frustration. We need the help of the Latin American governments. And I think that we're doing a fairly decent job of that. But it's a long way to go. I don't want to end on a pessimistic note, but I don't see how, as long as there's a marketplace,